Okay. So, oh, excuse me, I've literally never done this before. I look like this. As you can see, I kind of started and then I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. Also, if you hear baby music in the back, it's because my little child is playing right there. Yeah, okay. So, basically what I do is I do my eyebrows before I do anything else because I usually also do my eyeshadow, and I don't like to do concealer or anything before so the fallout doesn't stick. So I have nothing on, so I just brush out my eyebrows because Lord knows I sleep like a crazy person and they're all crazy and scraggly. Okay, so then what I do is I have this. It's the e.l.f. pomade, I guess is what I call it. Technically, when you buy it, it's called eyeliner, like gel eyeliner, but it's in the dark brown. And then I also just use the e.l.f. eyebrow brush. I'm cheap, so whatever. Okay, so what I do is I get a bunch of it on there and I kind of just pat it like this. And then sometimes it gets clumpy, so I will kind of brush it off on the side right there. Okay, so I usually start like mid. Okay, you guys can see. Okay, cool. So I start like the mid, and I don't really do, sorry. I don't really do the whole thing where people line the bottom and then line the top. I kind of just build as I go. Like I said in my comments, it's really, really pigmented. So it's kind of like you can do a dramatic eye look, or you can do just like really soft, almost like summery. So then after I do that part, I go down a little bit. And like I said, this stuff is really buildable, so I kind of move it around with my brush. Okie dokie. And go a little bit more like so. Okay, yeah, and that looks really choppy. So, but have no fear, we'll fix it. So there's that. And then next what I do after I get kind of like the middle to the end done is I go to the front a little bit, and then I kind of do that where you line the bottom just because I like the definition. I don't really go really dark towards the center of my brow, but you'll see. So like what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of blending it so that the pigment kind of moves around. And then what I do is, because I don't go super dark here, now my brush hardly has anything on it. So I go here and I kind of like build up, kind of like smudging around, I guess, the pigment so that there is kind of a base of a color at the front, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that I kind of have that done, and like I said, what I really like about this stuff is it's not super heavy, so you can still see my eyebrow, like my real eyebrow. What I've found with other brands is they're like super sticky almost, and it kind of makes it look like you literally could not tell if you have an eyebrow or not, and I don't really like that look. I just find that I like the look of my actual eyebrow, I guess, to come forward. Okay, so I do the same thing as I have been doing, is I pat the color on here. And now for the little flick marks that I do here, kind of to imitate the natural hair, there's a lot on this brush right now. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's so blurry. God, I'm terrible at this. So basically what I do is I take my finger and I put both sides on there, so it kind of like clears off the edges of it so that there's only like that super thin line of pigment and color on here. So then I go here and we're gonna flick up a few times just to imitate that hair, because I don't really have any here. Flicking upwards so it looks like a natural stroke of your hair. Okay, so now I've kind of added a little bit more strokes there. And usually what I do is, this is really dark, so even though I have that right there and it's a little lighter than the rest of my brow, is I always go up, because if you go sideways, it's gonna just take it all off. So I just lightly take this brush and I just brush up a little bit until it gets lighter. I'm sure it's probably hard to see on the camera, but in real life, it does get lighter when you do this. So I just kind of brush through it. Also, that helps bring the hairs back up if any of them do get packed down. Okay, so next, to clean up my messy work, I told you I'm not a professional, I just use this L'Oreal True Match. It's supposed to be, oh God, it says compact makeup. I think a lot of people actually use it for their face. I used to, but it kind of reminds me of when I was younger, so I don't really like using it. It's just the L'Oreal True Match, and you just find your shade. I kind of use it just as a brow concealer because I don't like using liquid concealer because I feel like it gets too much. So I just take another, yep, it's e.l.f. also, as you can tell I'm super cheap. So I just take this with my little brush and I get some on the edges and sides of it. And then I go under my brow and I just clean it up. As you can see, it's not really dense. So that's kind of what I like. So I go here to the edge and I just clean up that point. It kind of like brings it out more too, which is great. I didn't really smudge under my eye too much, so that's awesome. And then I go above also, just in case, because I did kind of get it a little smudgy. So there we go. And it kind of just brings that point out. And like I said, it's not super pigmented, so you can use whatever concealer you want. Some people don't even use concealer because they're like actually good at doing their eyebrows, where I kind of just like throw on stuff and then, so yeah, that is my eyebrow. So basically, what I do differently is I use the e.l.f. brand. A lot of people I know use the Anastasia. I used to use that and I did like it. It just, I kind of felt like it wasn't very buildable. So I like this one better because you can kind of like go, you don't have to put a crap ton on and be like, oh my God, I have so much on, what do I do now? So, and again, I do like the little few natural strokes there, and then I use my little spoolie to kind of lighten it up a little bit too, because I don't like that super blocky, chunky look. So yeah, there's my eyebrow. There's my natural, yuck. But yeah, there it is. And then after that, I put concealer all over. I use the Shape Tape and then do my makeup, and then after that I do my foundation and all that good stuff. So yeah, there it is. I hope it helped. Bye guys.